Welcome to the third When There Are Nine. I am Charlene Welton, an artist, one of the nine, and the curator of this fabulous show. The first show was here in 2020 at this beautiful theater during the pandemic. We had our reception, our opening reception, and then later that week, we closed down. So we're happy to be here again. The second show was in Detroit in 2022 at K-Rod Gallery, a wonderful gallery to show at. The impetus has always been Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and her response to a question about when there would be enough women on the court. In her notorious way, she said, when there are nine. Of course, some were shocked. And some, like us, banded together to create this response, an art show for and about women. There is so much happening in our world today, so many significant things to say, so many significant things to do. But every March, during Women's History Month, we choose to do this one. Not only to carry on the legacy of RBG, but to bring about awareness and make a difference, to speak out and share women's hopes and dreams using art with others. Uniting art with others. I am so thankful for this opportunity to present this vision. I'm also grateful for the support of all of you here right now. A positive sign that women's stories matter. We know the fight continues. The fight for equity, for decency, for the future of all girls and women to be held in high esteem and given fair opportunity, not controlled, not dominated. There is a common thread that runs through this show. You can feel it. The story that binds us, a woman's book of visions, piece by piece, page by page, unfolding into a larger account of events. Even though each artist did not know what we were painting, it's here. The possibility that there will be nine one day. The hope to heal division and give rise to justice for all. So let's get going. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your caps and lace up your bootstraps. You are about to see 11 minutes of bold and empowering fashion drama. Independently created, artistically fierce creations by women are about to cross the stage, strengthening a new and non-traditional conception of fashion as power in irreverent unity. The Fetish Project invited women from all walks of life to create something beautiful. And When There Are Nine is pleased to join forces with them. Please give it up for the Fetish Project. She said, "We want to bring awareness to the persistent inequality in the media's portrayal of women and women's issues, and challenge the tropes that continue to undermine and objectify women." She is a Metro Detroit artist with a background in furniture design and graphics. As an independent curator, her resulting exhibits are intimate portrayals of artistic community, exploring a topic together based on well-researched source material. Her projects have addressed social justice, including gender equality, racial equality, and climate change. I am so proud to introduce Laura Earle, the mastermind behind the Fetish Project.
Everybody, it's so good to be here with you today, and I just want to start by saying thank you so much to the artists of When There Were Nine for the invitation to bring the Fetish Project to you today. And also, I want to thank the wonderful people here at the theater who have helped us put this performance on for you. As Charlene mentioned, I am an independent curator and an artist. And what I wanted to share with you today was just a little bit more about this way I go about curating, because it's unusual. I really believe that the best art and the best process is in community. So when I think about a project, something that's bothering me, I want to understand more about it, I make art about things to understand better. And I make the best art about things when I'm talking with other people who also are concerned with the same kinds of issues. So when something's bothering me, like racism or gender inequality or the fate of our planet, the first thing that I do is I do a little homework, and I read a book, and I reach out to friends, and I reach out to experts, and then I put the word out there. Anybody else care about this too? Anybody else want to make art about this and see what we can come to understand together? And from that point, we form a community, and we begin to have a conversation. And we tell each other stories, and we share our personal experiences. And then whether we team up or we go off on our own way, we make our own pieces of work, brand new work, to show. And what I think is really funny is it's sort of the opposite of the traditional world of commercial art. In the traditional world of commercial art, you reserve a gallery and you submit a bunch of objects that were already made, and somebody is in charge of choosing what's what, and it's a process of exclusion, right? They include objects they like, and they exclude everybody else. But the way that I prefer to curate is a process of inclusion. So when I book a gallery, there's not a single piece of art, and it's all a step of faith that when I gather this group of intelligent, creative, curious people together, that our conversation will generate amazing artwork. And I think today is an example of how powerful it can be, not only in terms of what is created, but in the actual process of creating that work. There's fabulous friendships that are made, there's sharing of skills, there's like an effervescence and an energy that happens. If you were behind stage with us earlier, we were like so giggly, and it was a good thing we had a kindergarten teacher amongst our midst to keep us all down. But I did just want to share that with you today, that while the Fetish Project specifically takes aim at the tropes that are not true to women's lives, there are these fictions, these mythologies that women are meant to aspire to, and by extension, men are thought that this is what is the way it's supposed to be too. We really wanted to take aim at that and rethink all of that. And we have women in our group who range from as young as in their 20s to all the way up in their 70s. And as we wrestled with the tropes that have been fed to us and are continuously fed to us in the media, we really took stock of ourselves personally and wondered, who would we have been if if we hadn't been fed this our whole lives, if these pressures hadn't been upon us, what might we have done? And I'm just happy to say that in this reckoning that we were surrounded by groups of people who obviously cared about each other and as we were going through this process. And at the end of the book and at the end of the discussion, at the end of our conversation, we continue to make better choices because we're now better informed. So when I leave the podium here today, I want to let you know that the fetish artists and several of the people who have volunteered to model the looks, all of these art-to-wear pieces will be out in the foyer. And so I invite you to take a closer look at the beautiful details that are there. Very, very thoughtful work. So thank you so much for having me today. And I want to, I guess, end with an invitation, which is, as I continue to curate communities and conversations, if you are interested in joining in the crew, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is on the back of the program that you received today. Thank you.
Amazing. Like painting, poetry enables emotional release, a refuge, a special way to communicate. This poem relates to two paintings that I did for the show. They're called My Decision and We Are More. There are 9 circles on these paintings. A symbol painting and a symbol painted inside, each to describe our desires, whether they be women's rights, justice, equality, safety, empowerment, progress, and more. And our profound traits: wisdom, compassion, truth, strength, justice, respect, peace, and humbleness. This is called Imagine Out Loud. Imagine the circle and its curves, its spherical power, celestial and astronomical, like the earth spinning and the seasons cycling. Imagine the circles and its curves, its everlasting power, uniting and unifying like the ring sparkling with hope and the forever promising. Imagine the circle and its curves, its budding power, sheathed and sticky like a peony shining and the magic unfolding. Imagine the circle and its curves, its vision startling, seeing and knowing like the dark pupil opening and the lightning invading. Imagine the circle and its curves, its painter's power, repeating and swirling with our strengths, like a series of glowing full moons and a palette of possibilities. The next poem is a 6-line poem written on day 7 of National Poetry Month, April 2021. It's a thank you to Patricia Izo, a 2020 participating artist, and another good reason to continue our efforts. It's titled, She Said to Travel. Why? She said so, because we should not stop showing the world the strength of women. Now it's time to introduce the 9. My deepest thanks for your very personal and stunningly meaningful interpretations. Please stand when I say your name. Nina Asmi, Jan Brown, Barbara Melnick Carson, Rose Lewandowski, Susan Parrish, Charlene Ursi, LG Washington. And the extended court. They were invited by each one of the 9. Patricia Baker, Michelle Bogus, Ephemera Faye, Amy Foster, Irene Mokra, Lynn Newman, Kathleen O'Connell, Priscilla Pfeiffer, and Cheryl Zemke. And to all the artists of Fetish, thank you for sharing your incredible creations and special flair with us. I want to thank Ellie at the theater for hosting us and for all your help in making us look fabulous. And Phil, for all your work on the technical side. We could not have done this without you. To my husband, the mover of the podium. And once again, all of you who came out to support us. All of you in the audience who support women, artists, thank you. Of course, thanks to my mom, a strong woman who empowered me. I'd like to end today's program with a poem called When There Are 9. Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, "When there are 9," in reference to a question, when will there be enough women on the court? Yes, people were surprised, but she took it further by saying there had been 9 men and nobody questioned that. When there are 9, perhaps we will raise children instead of raising guns. When there are 9, perhaps we will endorse public education instead of banning books. When there are 9, perhaps we will care more for the sick and elderly and less about profits. When there are 9, perhaps we will address climate change instead of denying science. When there are 9, perhaps we will tax the corporations instead of them taxing us. When there are 9, perhaps we will fund health care like we fund bombs and missiles. When there are 9, perhaps we will stand with young women against investigating their cycles. When there are 9, perhaps our nation will embrace justice instead of determining by societal status. When there are 9, perhaps we will make choice an American right instead of controlling women. When there are 9, perhaps we will buy red dresses for Indigenous women instead of placing memorials in trees and clotheslines. And when there are 9, perhaps the patriarchy will realize we are more. I hope you enjoy your afternoon. We hope to see you again. Like Patty said, Charlene, the show must travel. Thank you.